So you want to go to therapy? I'm here to help you with that process. In this video, I wanted to break down how to start going to therapy, what it's really like, some of the common misconceptions. I'll also put like the timestamps for each section so you can just jump to whatever section's relevant to you. Going to therapy, the thought of it can be so daunting, especially if you don't know anything about it. You don't know how to start, you don't know where to find a therapist, you don't know what it's going to be like, but I've got you. I've been through this process. Okay, to begin, how to start going to therapy. Before I went to therapy, I tried to find a video like this and I felt like no one actually answered my questions. Like, oh, I've got you. The first thing is to find a therapist. In New Zealand, the best websites is Talking Works. Honestly, I would just go on there, search by location. If money is an issue, which I know for most people it is, I would use BetterHelp. I know there's so many ads about it, but it's actually good for a reason. My best friend uses it and it's great. That way you can do it online and it saves so much of the cost. I also want to put out there, a lot of people think that you have to go every week. You don't. Like, my therapist and lots of therapists out there are perfectly happy for a client to go once a month or once every 2 weeks if that's more affordable. Like, so you could pay $120 once a month, which is $30 a week. So if you have the money to put aside $30 a week, which maybe you do, that could be a really good option. Okay, the common misconceptions. I don't think it's a big enough deal to go to therapy for. So many people tell me this, that they would like to do therapy, but they think their issue is not big enough. My advice for that would be to go to a therapist once you found them and say, hey, I don't have a big trauma, but I have blank I would like to work on. For example, I have a hard time making friends. And then that's something that your therapist can help you work through. It might take 2 sessions, or it might take 6, or maybe like once you start, you'll realize there's some other things that you want to talk about and you can progress from there. But no therapist expects you to go in, talk about deep stuff right away and stay in therapy for a long time. Like, they see people who come in for 1 session. They see people who come in for 6 weeks. They see people who come in for 5 years. Like, it's very varied. Also, if you don't think your issues are big enough, oftentimes we don't know what we don't know. So when I first started going to therapy, I don't know if she'll really help, but I didn't know all the ways that she was going to help me and that she could help me. Let's talk about what it's actually like. Let's break down the first session, what it will be like. Your therapist will ask your name, and then probably they'll hit you with this main question. They will say, what is your purpose of coming to therapy? Or what brought you in here today? These are the easiest answers that you could say. I am struggling with blank, if you know what it is. Or I'm just struggling in general and I thought therapy would be a good way to get some help. Then the first session will probably be getting to know you. They will probably ask you a lot of questions like about what's your family like, what's this like, what's that like. The first session you can kind of just let them lead, like you don't have to know anything. If you want to, it could be helpful to bring one issue like that you have. For example, say there's a coworker who you're not getting along with and you don't know what to do about it. Just turning up to the session, you've said your one statement when they ask why you want to come. And then if they say, what do you want to talk about today? Hit them with that. It's something that's low key that you would still like help with, just to see if they're a good fit. Like, the first session, you don't want to dive into the deepest depths of yourself yet, because that's a lot to open up to someone with and they might not be a good fit for you. Another point is that once you've started therapy, every week is different and every week relies on you bringing something. It can be an issue, it can be a continuation of last week, but that's the way it goes. Like, they're not gonna bring the information. You have to. Which a lot of people don't like to hear. I didn't want to hear it either. But it is the truth, so now you know. Another thing that it's like is therapists can set goals with you. For example, at the start of working with them, they might be like, what are your goals for therapy? One of them could be to learn more about my emotions. And then over the weeks, like, you and your therapist will, well, not you, but she, in the back of her mind, or he, will be working on this and like constantly trying to help you with it without you knowing. So you'll kind of achieve your goals without even meaning to. That's the best part. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll reply. Good luck.